My fiancé left me a protein shake with a sweet note. I said I split it with his son after our workout. He went white. You gave half to Ethan? The kitchen counter was still cold under my palms when I told Adrian about sharing his thoughtful breakfast surprise. He'd been standing by the coffee maker, casual in his weekend clothes, asking about my morning run with his 12-year-old son. It was great, I said, still catching my breath from the 5-mile loop we'd finished 30 minutes earlier. And thank you so much for that protein shake you left me. That was really sweet. Ethan and I split it after our workout since we were both starving. The glass Adrian had been holding slipped from his fingers and shattered against the tile floor, but that wasn't what made my blood turn to ice water in my veins. It was his face draining of all color until he looked like he might vomit or pass out or both. His lips moved without sound for 3 full seconds before he managed to choke out those 4 words that would destroy everything I thought I knew about the man I was supposed to marry in 6 weeks. You gave half to Ethan? I'd been living with Adrian Thornton and his son for 8 months when that Saturday morning blew my entire world apart like a grenade detonating in my chest. We'd met through a mutual friend at a charity fundraiser about a year and a half earlier, and the connection had been instant and intense in all the ways romantic comedies promise but rarely deliver in real life. Adrian was a pharmaceutical sales representative with a corner office downtown, a beautiful colonial house in the suburbs, and a son he shared custody of with his ex-wife Melissa. He seemed perfect, honestly. Attentive without being clingy, successful without being arrogant, and incredibly patient with blending our lives together at a pace that felt natural, rather than forced. His son Ethan was shy at first, but gradually warmed up to me, especially after I started joining their Saturday morning runs and teaching him how to make my grandmother's famous chocolate chip cookies every other weekend when he stayed with us. The protein shakes had started appearing about 2 months ago, always on Saturday mornings when Ethan was with his mother, and I'd sleep in late after working overtime during the week at my job as a hospital administrator. Adrian would leave them in the refrigerator with little notes written on sticky paper attached to the glass. Thought you might need this after I wore you out last night, with a winky face. Breakfast for my beautiful bride-to-be. Drink up, you're going to need your energy for later. The notes were corny and sweet, the kind of small romantic gesture that made me feel cherished and loved in a relationship that seemed almost too good to be true after years of disappointing dates and relationships that fizzled out after a few months of mediocre compatibility. I'd never questioned the shakes because why would I? They tasted slightly bitter, but protein powder always tastes somewhat unpleasant regardless of the advertised flavors that promise chocolate or vanilla, but deliver something closer to chalky sadness. I'd drink them quickly, usually while getting ready for whatever Saturday activity we had planned, whether that was brunch with friends or antiquing in the historic district, or just lazy hours on the couch watching movies and planning our upcoming wedding. The shakes made me feel slightly nauseous sometimes, and I'd occasionally have to lie down for an hour or two with what I assumed was just my body adjusting to the protein supplement, or maybe mild lactose intolerance acting up. Adrian would always seem concerned when I felt sick, bringing me water and crackers, suggesting I rest while he ran errands or worked on projects around the house. But this particular Saturday was different because Ethan had unexpectedly stayed over Friday night,